Welcome back, guys. We've got our third best of one of the night here on BTS2. We've replaced Mott with Mr. Merlini. He's back from dinner. He's ready to cast. He's feeling bright.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
I'm eating a cough drop. I have a sore throat.
You picked a really good time to eat a cough drop.
People don't need to understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's okay.
Good.
It's not part of the job description. Speak.
Well, we've got LGD versus CIS here, Merlini. We've got a good old-fashioned
It's a
TI4 finals rematch, not finals, qualifier.
LGD
rematch.
LG destroyed them. They had their number, and except the one game that they had X.
That one game.
It looks like they will have X again.
Yeah, spoiler alert, CIS first pick Axe this game. Pretty exciting.
But
Were
there's
you
no
were
like it.
casting the finals, right?
I was casting the grand
So
finals.
how one-sided was it? Are you expecting this to be easy for LGD? Give me some odds here after seeing that 3-1 in the
Well, it was just
qualifier.
a terrible. They didn't draft well against it,
Mm.
so I think mostly it was a draft fail. So it's difficult to tell how early it's gonna be.
All right, fair enough. Well,
We'll see.
maybe we should just hop on into the draft here because things are already underway, and as we see here, first pick Axe Dazzle for CIS. LGD did have the actual first pick this game, grabbed themselves the Treant, and they second pick Olmarana there.
So LGD smart, they ban out the Witch Doctor because you don't want another healer with Axe. Like Dazzle Witch Doctor plus Axe is just a sick tri-lane in general, and it will just crush any melee hero.
Yeah.
And it even does pretty well versus range heroes because they usually have a little bit less armor, they usually have a little bit less move speed, and Axe just walks right up to you.
I don't know if you were watching the last game, but CIS picked a Huskar.
Huskar's legit. Did they
Huskar
win?
Black. They did not win. They
Oh.
lost to IG, but he played a pretty good Huskar. You know, showed us they did actually a Huskar Dazzle. So
Dude, Huskar is ownage. It was
pretty good.
it was in one of the deciding tiebreaker matches too in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I don't feel like Huskar was the reason they lost. It seemed to be more of a kind of team coordination type deal. But still interesting to see some Huskar action.
You win as a team, you lose as a team.
That's true. That is truer words have never been spoken. LGD will actually ban out the Witch Doctor here.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I talked about that, yo. Witch Doctor is scary.
He's scary, but
Double heal with X,
yeah, okay. All right.
and then you also like when they're all called together, and then you cast right after. It's just devastating.
It's dirty time.
And that
okay.
sets
and then
up
you
really
can
nice for
heal.
Maledict.
All right. Yeah, I feel you. I dig.
The Wombo combo, man.
That's some wombo.
The potential was real.
Well, they get the Dark Seer with their third pick, so they get another nice offlaner here. Or will it be a safe laner? Do you think CIS are looking to do like an aggro try with
It
this
depends
Axe?
on what LGD is gonna run as their choice of carry. If they run something like SD, I don't think that CIS will try lane them, and I think they can play super greedily. But we'll see. Well, actually, there's SD. Right as I say it, I don't think they should aggro try into this. I think it's pretty rough lane, but it depends on how confident they are in the Axe. And I think CIS, I think they have a better chance of winning if they aggro try, even though I think it's worse off in the laning stage, just because I think that CIS is better at aggression against LGD. If they try and play the same game that LGD does, LGD will just destroy them.
I feel you. Yeah.
So they have to do something different, put pressure on them.
Be aggressive and take LGD out of their element a little bit.
Yes.
Get some early aggression and
They don't know how to recover from like an abysmally poor laning phase. Like a poor laning phase, okay, but abysmally poor, no.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. LGD pick up Shadow Demon, so now they've got some setup to pair with that Mirana. An okay tri-lane across those three heroes, Mirana, Shadow Demon, Treant.
I think they should have banned out Shadow Demon instead of Ench.
Yeah.
When they won with the Axe, it was actually versus Ench, and Ench didn't really do anything the whole entire game.
Okay.
But Shadow Demon's much scarier, and it's decent versus Axe because the illusions do full damage when they spin. Also, on top of that, it's just good for kiting him. It's good with Mirana setup, obviously, and just a fantastic sport in general. Good at zoning out Darks here.
Yeah, and it's also just really good against an aggro tri-lane with Axe, because if things get really scary, you can always just disrupt him, and that's an easy disengage in what is usually a sticky situation. CIS will burn a lot of their bonus time, only 7 seconds left, and they will settle on Rubik for their second support to go with the Dazzle and presumably the Axe. So mid laner is all that's left for CIS here. We'll see what LGD pick up.
Rubik.
They will need a mid laner as well as either an offlane or a carry. I guess they could offlane the Mirana, but
I don't think they'll offlane
10
Mana.
seconds remaining.
No
I
one
don't
really
think so
does that
either.
anymore.
Not very frequently,
People,
no.
people do dual lanes though, but I don't
5
think they want
seconds
to dual lane here.
remaining.
Yeah,
Timber would have been really good for them, but CIS has already banned that out. I think
smart ban.
Reserve time.
who would do pretty well? Lone Druid maybe if they're off lane. I don't know if they really run Lone Druid that often. Clockwork would do okay here. Centaur would be pretty solid. You can't really go wrong with the Centaur pick, especially with LGD's lineup right now. But I think one of the more important things is that CIS has actually drafted anti-Treant Protector too. Dazzle with his Poison Touch and Darkseer with his Ion Shell just absolutely burns through those charges.
Yeah, CIS don't have a lot of pushing power, though. They could be looking for something like a DK in the mid, and that would be fabulous, a tool to cut through the living armor on structures, and then all the DOTs to deal with the living armor on heroes. Not a bad way to round out their roster. It would also be another much-needed stun to add to their arsenal. Right, now LGD, it's their turn to burn the bonus time, and they'll think hard about this next pick.
Have you read the ticket description? The first and second places from China's qualifier for the
Dire
international
team
face
ban.
up 4 invited Chinese top teams in Huaxi, the top village in China. What exactly is a top village in China? Is it like the #1 village, or is it the northernmost? Is it like
Oh yeah, I was thinking the
10
village that
seconds
has the most Dota
the best
skill.
Dota players? I don't know. That's such a vague
5
statement. I have
seconds
no idea what to
remaining.
mean. What I
I've
can
never
make of that.
heard of that village. I feel like we would, if that was like a
But
pocket.
it's a village though.
5
It's,
seconds
that's true.
remaining.
Village usually
It's not the
implies-
biggest city. It's the
very
top. It's
small.
the top village.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just wondering what you thought about it, man. I think they could have thought up of a better description than that, but maybe they made it intentionally vague to kind of hype up.
Make you wonder,
Huaxi.
read it, and go, Huaxi, I wonder what that means. All right, top village in China. Watch out.
I'm gonna Google it. I'm curious.
Yeah,
now.
do it. I don't know. I've never heard of Huaxi, or if that's even how you say it. Huaxi.
Huaxi Village. Okay.
About
Located east of the city of Zhongyan in Jiangsu province, claims to be the
seconds
richest
remaining.
village in China.
Wow. It's known as #1
5
village under the
seconds
sky,
remaining.
founded in 1961. That's very nice.
LGD
Okay.
All the citizens have a
pick.
wealth of at least 100,000 euros or more, according to the local authorities.
Wow.
This is a substantial amount by Chinese standards. Wow,
Okay.
that is cool.
Well,
It has 2,000 villagers. There also live in the area about 20,344 migrant workers and 28,240 nearby villagers. Quote unquote, my father was wealthy. Now I want that the villagers will also be that and healthy and happy, says the village chief. They have a village chief.
oh, that's nice.
His father, also a former village chief, Wu Runbao, once invested money in raw materials such as aluminum. A new landmark skyscraper in Huaxi Village, the 328-meter Longxi International Hotel, was opened when the village celebrated its 50th anniversary. That's cool. So this
Prepare for battle.
thing is relatively new. This hotel, it was opened 3 years ago, and apparently everyone's super wealthy there and plays Dota all day.
Well, in that case,
Top village. Now we know what it means.
yeah, look at this axe weapon, dude.
Yeah, dude.
The mountain
I
splitter.
definitely commented on that yesterday.
Holy Toledo. That
he
thing
he
is...
needs to suck at that thing, dude.
Dude, that thing is... how is that an uncommon, man?
That's what I said.
That's got mythical written all over it. That thing is sick. It's a cool looking axe. But we didn't talk about the final picks here. CIS, they grab the Death Prophet with... I'm actually not crazy about this DP set. She looks too much like Queen of Pain. in my
Oh,
opinion.
it's a mythical headpiece, but it's an ugly ass headpiece.
It's too... She looks too much like a succubus or something. I don't know. I don't dig, but... it's pretty awesome, I
30
suppose.
seconds
And
to
the last
battle.
pick for LGD was the Brewmaster. So they
Silences
get,
are good
little
versus
tempo controller
Brewmaster.
here.
Good versus Shadow Demon.
And
So I'm on board with Silence.
LGD had the last pick too, so they picked the Brew into the Silence of DP, which is kind of interesting.
They ain't scared.
They ain't scared. That's for damn
Dazzle.
sure.
I mean, Panda is really good versus Dazzle though.
Mhm.
Just like Cyclone, anyone who gets graved, or just Cyclone to Dazzle so he can't grave. It's just Cyclone is just an incredibly good CC versus him.
The
Yeah.
battle
And
begins.
initial wards have come down. Dire will get a one on the high ground here, and Radiant throwing down in the lane at the bottom. And Dire will get double rune coverage here as they take control of the top position as well. AO on the Rubik will gear up to grab this haste. Let's introduce some rosters here on the Radiant side. We've got LGD, the favorites against CIS, but we'll see if CIS can get some vengeance here. Lin playing on the Mirana. He'll be joined by DDC playing on the Shadow Demon down here in the bottom lane. Rabbit will be solo mid on the Brewmaster. DD will be on the Treant. Gets harassed back by the Grand Magus here with that haste rune, but he'll be just fine as he makes it to that tier 1 tower. And Yao, he'll be up top on the off-lane Pugna. And can't help but feel like Radiant is the only reason he can sort of get away with this, but may have his work cut out for him. Rubik, hasted, already headed towards that top lane. Uh-oh, they'll go for it right away. Telekinesis back, but the others just aren't in position, and Pugna will just get harassed a little bit.
Pugna doesn't have any armor. Well, he has 1 armor, but he does have boots. But at least they dodged the try-on-try, which I think is a good idea by CIS because it's just a difficult try to work with. But Darkseer will not have an easy time and will instead start off in the jungle. So in terms of efficiency, LGD should be ahead thanks to the Radiant offlaner. And we see a smoke coming out already. Mr. Tree and Protector and Shadow Demon.
Uh-oh. They'll waddle their way through the Radiant jungle. Looks like they want to pressure Inflame, the level 3 Death Prophet here in the mid. And
this is earlier than you normally expect a smoke gank, by the way. They usually do it post-pool, which is about right now. Oh, they're actually smoking top. Whoa, wait, or are they still?
Or they're just wrapping around. Hard to
I think they could have killed him because he's like right here. They could just approach from the high ground and just kill him.
Oh, they're just doing the old wraparound. Inflame with a very aggressive position. Could be in big trouble. Getting path blocked as he tries to retreat. Tree will branch him once the disruption ends. No soul catcher quite yet, but they'll go for that surround.
Holy.
Whew. Nowhere for the Death Prophet to go. First blood comes out. Rabbit is the one to grab the last hit on that Brewmaster.
Ooh, there was not even a hint of a TP. Yeah. Dazzle bought a Quelling Blade instead. What you doing with that, mister?
Now that is interesting. Dazzle with a Quelling Blade over early TP.
Man, he's taking notes from his Western counterpart.
But what's the... I mean, I see, you know,
dude,
Quelling Blade on
missing
Coddle.
Pugna getting owned.
Oh. Yeah, he's kind of getting owned.
He's getting owned hard.
Living Armor will keep him up. He's just fine. Black cutting the wave, though. But what's the advantage to Quelling Blade on Dazzle? I'm still a little confused here. I mean... He can. What's the value of Dazzle cutting down trees?
You can kill creeps faster. Don't forget about 12% damage bonus on creeps.
I mean that's pretty good. You know, I mean I see why Coddle wants to channel his inner lumberjack. You know, he wants to make a little log cabin in the trees, catch him by off guard, and throw ponies at him. Dazzle, he's lacking on the pony front. So what's his plan?
Stealth weaves.
I don't know. Interesting. Very interesting. Farming Dazzle. Well, we'll see how it works. Right now, Black's doing a pretty good job zoning out the Pugna. Yeah, Pugna only 4-1 against the 18-3 Axe. So this tri-lane going pretty well for CIS. June has moved out of the jungle and now moved down bottom. He wanted to leave some room for the Dazzle to use that Quelling Blade, so he'll head back to lane. And
look at him slay those creeps so efficiently with that 12%. Oh my goodness, that damage, man. That damage.
It's pretty sizable. I feel like there's got to be something we're missing. Was there like a ninja buff to Quelling Blade or something?
Well, there is some benefit to it. Like if you suspect an observer ward over here, you can cut down a lot of trees and don't have to use the crow. So that's a small benefit.
That's something.
It's a stretch, but it is.
I mean,
it is a possible use.
It is a possible use. There were no wards.
Oh, look at him cut down all these trees, man. Look at that.
Yeah, but I mean,
look at that. Lieutenant Squawkins gets amazing vision.
Okay. I mean, I guess if you cut the trees down right here that you just pulled out, you can double stack these two poles.
Yes, you can do that. That's pretty useful.
Oh,
he cut down these trees over here too, so he could drop a sentry and not block the spawn.
Okay, that's nice.
Okay, he's doing some stuff. It's not just the YOLO Quelling Blade.
No, he's doing some stuff. Is it a worthy investment though? Is really the key question.
Because if you kill like one spawn, you get what, like 100+ gold, and then you get experience. So you're pretty much like buying experience. I think it's okay.
Uh-oh, Inflame in the mid. DD will rotate in once again. There's your tree slow to start things off. He's trying to use those branches to body block, but it's not going to happen. 2 TPs come in. Now they'll try and turn things around.
Whoa.
DD will fall. Plenty of burst damage from the Darkseer as well as the Crypt Swarm there. And Rabbit will be okay, but CIS, they get their first kill on the board.
That was aggressive.
Yeah, it certainly was. Dive into the tier 2.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, the Leech Seed just wasn't quite enough there. CIS will group up in the top lane, pressuring this tier 1 tower quite hard. And I think they'll be able to finish it off. LGD rotating their Pugna over. They do burn a Moonlight Shadow. Looks like they want to go for Inflame in the mid lane here. Leech Seed to start it off. Rabbit with a Thunderclap. Looks like they'll have the deeps to bring him down. There's that Drunken Brawler crit. And Rabbit gets another one up on the
Radiant's
scoreboard.
top tower
Pugna
has been
denies the
denied.
top tier 1. Whoa, what a play from Yao. What a player.
What a player indeed. I wonder what the win percentage is for Axe and Radiant versus Dire, because on the Dire side, you have a couple of advantages. Firstly, when you creep skip in the safe lane behind the first tower, you actually have a much larger room to work with in between the T1 and T2. If you look on the right side, there's like, you barely have any wiggle room. So that's pretty good, especially since Black loves to creep skip as his Axe. You can't really do that on a Radiant safe lane. That's pretty much the only lane you can't do it. You can definitely do it on a Radiant off lane, Dire safe lane, and Dire off lane.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
Dire's
the one
middle
little sandwich
tower is
lane
under
here in the
attack.
bottom.
That one's awful.
LGD will do a little pushing of their own. They'll start chipping away at this bottom tier 1 TP from Inflame. He'll get disrupted, trying to line up the arrow. They won't find it. Soul Catcher comes out, he pops the Exorcism, and now DDC taking heavy damage. He won't have an escape vehicle here, no disruption for another 15 seconds, but Inflame taking so much damage from the Mirana. He'll turn and throw a Crypt Swarm, won't connect to the Mirana, and both sides will survive for now. Maybe a little over-eager there from Inflame. Pops the ultimate, but doesn't really find much with it.
Death Prophet's such an easy hero to shut down early, and LGD knows that, but now that she's level 6 and level 7, has some firepower of her own to return. Not really sure what the Pugna pick is meant. Oh, buddy.
Inflame, he gets disrupted. Soul Catcher, arrow, now DD coming
down
in.
there?
I don't know why. He just pressed so far forward. No vision, looking at Dire vision. No wards down, just running forward blind. That was easy.
And there were
setup for
heroes there
LGD.
like right before he
Yeah.
explored that area. So, Inflame, he needs to die less. That's a Mont note.
Yeah. Well, Pugna's still doing okay in this off lane. He's lost his tower, so doesn't have as much room to soak up experience. Was able to grab himself a pair of arcane boots, almost level 5, with 11 CS under his belt. So
That's a Blink Dagger on Brewmaster,
He's doing
courtesy of
okay.
First Blood.
Yep. Yeah, Rabbit's had a pretty good time here. Number 1 on net worth by about 600 gold over Black, who is sitting at 3,100. So maybe Brew can start moving around, controlling some tempos. Hasn't used the primal split quite yet, but I'm sure he's eager to find some kills.
Under attack.
Ooh, smoke from LGD perhaps? Oh, yeah, there you go. Rabbit also with an invisibility rune in the bottle. Where are they headed? Looks like their sights are set on Black in the top lane, who is damn close to a Blink Dagger.
And now that Pugna is solo in mid, looks like Black suspects the gank, but is he gonna be careful enough to dodge it?
Well, right now, good positioning in the trees. Finds that little nook. Maybe getting a little overzealous here. Lane Ward comes down from the Radiant. We'll give him a little bit of vision onto Black. They ping him out. They don't really want to dive the tower. They could do it with the primal split, but instead they'll rotate
Demons
about.
is doing it for the double stack. Get him.
So yeah, he does double stack it. Nicely done by the Dazzle. Finding efficiency with that Quelling Blade. I guess it's okay here. Some stacks for Axe.
Blink on him.
And LGD looking for the wraparound initiation. Playing this a little bit cautiously. Inflame on the south side of the tower. Pretty decent positioning right here, but there's your Thunderclap. Primal Split comes out. The boulder gets hurdled. And, oh, good TP from Demons. Gets off the grave. Gets thrown into the Cyclone. I think Inflame will be destined to fall. Yeah, he sure will. Brewmaster secures that kill. Now June takes an arrow. And they'll try to bring him down as well as Demons. This will be a 3-0 to get things started. CIS on the retreat. AO looking to survive, but it'll be rough. Getting clicked down by the Mirana. Thunderclap, more than enough to soften him up. Black is the lone defender now. It's a 4-0. Black's late to the party. He has his Blink Dagger, but what can he do? The answer is nothing.
Dire's middle
Just a
tower
disaster.
I still don't know why they
attack.
picked the back so early. They could have easily led with like a Dazzle and Darks here, and they wouldn't have expected an Axe pick, and maybe they could have baited LGD into picking more melee heroes in the side lanes. But as it stands right now, like, what is Axe actually supposed to do? He put some pressure on Pugna, but Pugna's already level 6 with Arcane, so there was not really any damage done there. He hasn't had any deaths, and who's he really supposed to shut down?
Yeah, I feel like they needed to pressure this Pugna a little bit harder.
They did pressure him, but he can only do so much.
Yeah, that's true. With the Rubik Dazzle, it just doesn't have as much kill potential for the Axe. I mean, Telekinesis is okay set up, but if you can't bring him down in the duration of the Berserker's Call, then what do you do?
Well, he's smoking with Ion Shell and Axe. That's what you do.
Oh, man. The supports on the Dire side getting underleveled as well. Dazzle only 3, Rubik sitting at 4. So not a hell of a lot they can do in terms of damage output. Looks like they do want the Pugna. Blink forward from Black. Connects with a Berserker's Call, but Moonlight Shadow flies. Does get off the dunk. There you go. Axe will secure his first kill of the game. Arrow flies. Will hit Black. And his team will try and keep him alive. Shallow Grave comes out just in the nick of time, but in comes DD. No overgrowth available. Black still falls as Rabbit hops forward. Trian actually gets that kill. Rabbit will take a spill, but it'll cost him June, and maybe even more. CIS supports on the run. Dazzle will try and TP home. Gets hit by the arrow. Gets disrupted as well. Dazzle is definitely going to fall. No mana available. He goes down, and AO still on the run. Looks like he'll be okay for now. The one gap closer, Brew, is the one that's dead.
Could have been a lot better for CIS had they just not gotten hit by the arrow and retreated with the under the guise of the Coaling Blade buff.
Yep, and Pugna survived. So, oh no, pardon me, he got decapitated. So it was a 2 for 3, not a 1 for 3. Not too bad for CIS, but as you said, certainly could have been better. Now about a 3,000 experience lead. What am I doing here? 2,000 gold, 3,000 experience in the favor of LGD right now. Grabbing a pretty decent lead out of the gate, and they haven't even knocked down any towers yet. They are at the tower disadvantage. So Pugna now level 7. We'll be spamming that Q. Nether Blast coming out. Glyph from CIS. They will try to make a hold right here.
Death
DD
Prophet's
trees.
so poor. He has phase boots and bottle and null.
Yeah. Not a hell of a lot to his name. Not particularly tanky either. Black comes forward, gets leech seeded. Arrow comes in. He'll be able to juke it. Compliments of that surge. Rubik will steal the arrow, so we may see him try to set something up. Tower will fall here. Arrow comes through, actually hits the Mirana, gives her a taste of Rowan medicine. But CIS not in a position to capitalize. Black very low on hit points. They'll be forced to watch their tower fall. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Inflame is pressuring this tier 1, but didn't have an ultimate available, and won't be able to do a hell of a lot. Just has to TP home, and gets the tower down to about half health.
They need Panda to get fat. They need Darkseer or Death Prophet to get fat, and neither of those two heroes
Or fat.
Are fat. Did I say Panda? I meant Death Prophet. Death Prophet needs to be bigger.
Death Prophet, yeah.
And she needs to get towers down, and that's really where the majority of her gold should come from. But with Living Armor, with her dying 4 times early, it's just really, really rough for them. And Black needs to start getting kills, but I mean, who's he going to gank? Well, we'll see it right now.
Uh-oh. Another ward already down. Arrow flies over the tree line. Almost hits June, but he will juke it. Demons hiding in the trees nearby as well. The supports are just so poor as well.
It's the Quelling Blade
on the dire side. Yeah, you can have Quelling Blade to move into the trees. That's true. DD now hits level 6. So we'll get that first point in overgrowth. Arrow flies through from the Rubik. Both sides just lobbing arrows right now, looking for one to connect, and that'll be their initiation. And both sides playing this rather cautiously, but LGD, they're in no hurry. They'll be happy just to chip away at this tower, utilize that Nether Blast. Arrow flies from Rubik once again. Will be off the money. Tower gets denied by the Darkseer, but in comes the Panda. Primal Split goes onto the Rubik. He'll be the first to fall. The stun out on Inflame. The Boulder sets up that kill. That'll make it a 2 for 0 to get things started. Now the Tornado comes out onto Axe. They're looking to set this up. He will be able to blink back to safety, but it could cost him June. Arrow flies through from Mirana. Doesn't connect. Overgrowth flies as he tries to surge away. Vacuum, but doesn't keep him alive. Demons in the trees. Do they see him? Nope, doesn't look like it. That Quelling Blade will help keep him alive, but he actually cuts his way back out. Drops a heal. That's enough to finish off the Brewmaster. Black gets the dunk. Has the cooldown available. Might be able to do a double dunk here onto DD. No, the disruption comes out. That slows down Black. AO's respawn, rejoin the party. And it looks like that's where this fight will end. Moonlight Shadow for the escape, and no detection on the Dire.
Still not bad. 3 for 1 and a buyback. Wait, was there a buyback?
No buyback.
Okay. For some reason, I thought there was a buyback. I'm out of it. Man.
Whoa, Lin coming in here. Throws an arrow, but off the mark. Stolen Starstorm does a lot. Now steals the leap. Hops forward. They really want to finish him off. Supports inbound, though. Looks like CIS may have overcommitted here. Now Inflame flying through. Throws the silence. Connects on the DD. No Nature's Guys available, so he'll be forced to run those leafy branches away. Inflame takes an arrow to the face, and that will slow him down. Quells his pressure. Now Rabbit goes on to Demons. Connects with the crit, and we'll find that kill. Axe did get a dunk on the Shadow Demon off to the side there, but they trade support for support. Now Rabbit on the run. Quick Swarm chips away at him, but he'll be okay. That was a very long engagement. But LGD still come out ahead.
And Death Prophet Ultimate was used for the fight. Now it won't be up for the push, and they really need that if they want to take down towers, especially against Tree Ultimate. Yeah, LGD doesn't have the Panda Ultimate up, but that's not enough to persuade CIS to try and threaten that high priority tower.
Yep. And Rabbit, 1,300 gold in the bank there. Pugna has now picked up the mech, and that's a mech advantage for LGD. 14-5. The lead isn't as big as you would think. CIS are still hanging in there, finding okay exchanges. even though LGD are continuing to pick up ground.
But they don't really have good late game either.
That's
like Mirana will out-carry most of the heroes on the Dire side.
Uh-oh, Rabbit finds June, and they initiate onto the Axe. He'll be able to blink back to safety as well. A couple of illusions made. And CIS will be forced to rotate once again. Pugna spamming that Q onto the tower. Backdoor protection will bring it back up. Dazzle now has Weave at least. Interesting Dazzle build. 1-2-2-1 here at level 6.
I feel like that's okay. They need he needs to concentrate on keeping Axe alive.
Value point Grave. Get that extra range.
They don't really need the Poison Touch for damage. Like at this point, you just 1 point is enough to try and zone people out early, and then that's it.
It's through the Weave. Black grabs 2 with the call. And we'll finish off Shadow Demon. Now the rest of the fight breaking out. There's your Primal Split. Arrow comes in. Does hit Black. And Shallow Grave. Be enough to keep him alive. He's still spinning. But I think he'll fall as soon as that Grave expires. Can they bring him down? One more auto attack. They'll dive it. The boulder flies. He'll blink to the low ground. Oh, no. They have to commit a lot for this. And the Panda will go back to brew form. Meanwhile, in the backside of the fight, Yao taking heavy damage. Moonlight Shadow's on, but there's a dire sentry. Ring around the Rosie won't be enough to keep him alive. Now Mirana coming in. They might be able to secure a kill onto June. Starstorm flies, but he gets healed up by the Dazzle. Rubik hops forward. Telekinesis pulls Mirana back. And Lin in big trouble. Will fall to one more auto attack. A little bit of uphill help there. And Crypt Swarm enough to bring him down. Living armor won't keep him alive. So CIS finally find a good exchange. And that puts a big dent into the gold experience graph. And almost an even game on our hands.
Axis Black, probably going to carry.
Yep. And I don't know what the deal is here. Who knows? Who knows? Looks like it'll be a quick pause, though.
I still feel like the Pugna pick hasn't really done anything for them. I think they still would have gotten towers with or without a Pugna. And just, I don't know, it doesn't really synergize with anything. They don't have that much magic damage to synergize with Decrepify. They have like one huge caster in the Darkseer for Nether Ward, but he's still going to get his spells off. And I don't know, it just seems a little lackluster. I thought they had big grand plans for him.
Well, if they do, it hasn't become apparent quite yet. Yao has only died twice. He's 1, 2, and 5, so he's been doing okay on that front. But his farm, pretty low. He is the lowest except for the supports. So about on par with the Death Prophet, a little bit behind, but both of them struggling quite a bit. DP now going Bracer into Perseverance. So I reckon it'll be a Lincoln's first coming out on Inflame following the phase boots.
Bloodstone maybe?
Just straight into Bloodstone. Not a very typical build we see on Death Prophet these days in competitive Dota, but certainly a possibility. Usually Bloodstone is good if you're kind of dominating. You can get some momentum, get some charges on it early on, but if you get the Bloodstone and then take a death pretty early on before stacking up those charges, that's where Bloodstone becomes a lackluster item pickup.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. What do you if you had to choose one, Lincoln's or Bloodstone, what do you think's better here?
Bloodstone.
Really? Okay.
Lincoln's just doesn't really block anything good.
Yeah.
Like Decrep,
Life Drain,
Shadow,
Boulder, Leech
yeah.
Seed, Disruption.
I'd say Cyclone's probably a really good one, but I mean, Death Prophet doesn't really need it. If he gets Cyclone and his Ghosts are on, he'll be invulnerable and still do damage, so you don't really care that much about Cyclone. And Demonic Purge is better used on Surge targets or someone like Axe who is easily kiteable. So they probably won't use it on him. Disruption's too important of a cooldown to blow on Lincoln's. Mirana doesn't have anything, but she can just get Mjolnir to pop it.
Double smoke. CIS smoke up. They'll walk right into each other. LGD, they get the jump onto Demons. He manages to get off the safe word Shallow Grave. Black with the dunk on top of the Pugna. But Demons will fall. It'll be a 1-for-1. In comes Inflame now. Has the Exorcism popped? Actually doing a lot of damage here. LGD will be forced to retreat. Brewmaster finishes off the Dazzle. He'll go back into brew form very soon here, trying to chase down Inflame. Axe will get picked off around the backside. Rabbit's back, baby. He'll finish off the Death Prophet. Now gets Telekinesis. Team support coming in. He'll be okay. They'll turn on to June as well as Ao. They'll split. A buyback from Black here on the Axe. He's ready to come back in. Looking for the Rubik. Rabbit now could be in some trouble. No Calling Blade available for Black, so there won't be a dunk. They will still secure the kill, though. Darkseer gets it with the Ion Shell. And CIS will at least find one recovery. Kind of an awkward exchange. But LGD find the better of it, especially factoring in that buyback. And, oh, might not be over yet. Oh, wow, he'll finish off the Rubik over here on the backside. Now the blink from Black. Okay, arrow doesn't connect. So, well, they trade the tree for the Rubik at the end, making another 1-for-1. Better trade for CIS, though. Dazzle ends that dominating streak. He gets a nice 550 gold bounty.
I don't know. You could say it's slightly better for LGD too, just because Stream Protector had already bought his Blink before, and CIS. Like, if you look at their lineup and think late game, you are sorely mistaken. It's okay late game. It's not wonderful, but they do have a lot of minus physical armor. They really need to take out Roshan though to secure Death Prophet's lead in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Axe is he scales kind of, but he just doesn't scale as well with items like somebody like a Mirana. Looks like DP now going back for drums after the Perseverance. Interesting choice here. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think drums are bad. It's just
Casual
more
Perseverance.
Yeah, it's just more. Why not get the drums before the Perseverance? Is kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, we've talked about the casual Perseverance, not about on par with the casual Sange.
It's better than Vanguard.
Better than Vanguard. We actually did see a casual Sange earlier.
Casual Sange is not that bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
What hero is it on?
DK. He eventually turned into a halberd, but I think he wanted the halberd, then he went back. I think he went like Ogre Club. I forget what item he went, but he ended up making it a halberd. He changed his item trajectory, but it was a casual Sange for quite some while. I don't know. The casual Perseverance on DP is just not so solid. We'll see where she goes with it. Axe now, sitting on Ogre Club Vitality Booster, will get initiated upon, and blinks back just in the nick of time. Well done by Black. Would have been hit by the arrow. Now Rabbit comes forward. There's your primal split, and Black in big trouble. He will fall. Shadow Demon secures that one. Ao throws an arrow, but to little avail. Will get picked off. He gets the grave, and they'll be able to finish him off with the, or interrupt it with the Cyclone. And he'll die as soon as he comes back down to the ground. June manages to get off his mech with just a few hit points to spare, but will it be enough to keep him alive? It's not looking like it. And goodbye, Darkseer.
That was a nice try.
Yeah.
I guess.
That'll be a 4-0. Inflame wasn't with him. He was down bottom, pushed that tier 1 tower with the ultimate, but 4 for an even tower exchange. LGD come out way ahead.
If CIS had waited a little bit longer, maybe they could have waited for DP to push to T2, and then LG would have been like kind of more committed one way or another. But as it stands, like LG doesn't even need to worry about the bottom lane because it was just that tower was way too far back for them to even care about. So CIS, they can't take fights 4-on-5 without Death Prophet. I mean, they usually can't take on 5-on-5s, but certainly not 4-on-5. So they got to work on their fighting without Black.
Yep.
Or just not do it, which is probably the better choice.
And they will finish off this top tower. TP's coming in from CIS. And nope, they won't be able to find any counter kills. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Mirana TP's in, keeps this tower alive, and they'll start to living armor it back up to an acceptable level of HP. So all of that effort DP put into this tier 2 tower pretty much going to waste here. Compliments of the big bulky tree.
And that's an Ags on Brewmaster, 23 minutes in. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, really good farm.
He's been playing very well. Rabbit has been playing very
well. He's been involved in 17 kills, 9, 3, and 8. That's the kind of Brewmaster we like to see. June will get initiated upon here. Takes a Thunderclap and actually throws the crit out onto the creep to secure that kill. Moonlight Shadow. And Brew will be just fine. Yeah, they'll heal this tower back up. Tree is also going for a Vlad's Offering here, which I do like. And holy Toledo. That's a 23-minute Vanguard onto Axe.
Oh, God, one of those again.
He went Ogre Club into Vanguard. This is a strange Axe build. Just like the casual Ogre Club? I mean, I reckon it'll be a BKB, but why go back for the Vanguard? Why not just start working on a Heart or something if you want to tank up?
Why not get anything else?
Yeah, DD comes in. There is a Sentry Ward down. Rabbit hops forward. There's your Primal Split. And, a huge vacuum into wall. DP ulti as well. CIS might be able to do some work in this fight. Black taking heavy damage. He will get the grave on him. That'll keep him alive for now. Cyclone onto DP. Axe falls. He'll be the first to go down. LGD reinitiating here around the side. And looks like Inflame could be their next target of choice. Living Armor really coming in handy here. Rubik goes down. Now Inflame taking some right clicks. Ghost will expire soon, but not soon enough. One more crit from the Brewmaster brings him down. That's a 3-0. June looking to make the retreat. He'll TP home. Demons has already done so. It's starting to look a little bit grim for CIS here, Merlini.
Yeah, Axe just gets focused down so early on in the fights, and he dies usually during the Panda ultimate, or if he doesn't die, he has such crippling HP that he can't really help his team, and it's still a 4-on-5.
Yeah, I mean, this is just that point where Vanguard, it's so much more powerful the earlier you get it. And here, it didn't do much to keep him alive at all. I mean,
there are other choices, like Blade Mail I think is pretty good versus Death Prophet, because you can't, it's somewhat difficult to control the ghost.
DP's on his team.
Oh,
Talking about
sorry.
Black, yeah.
Yeah, Black, Atos?
Initiation here. Black will get hit by an arrow following the disruption. LGD with several low health heroes. They'll try and bring down Black. The Grave comes out from Dazzle. It'll keep him alive for now, but they'll continue to pursue. A few more auto attacks will bring him down. The blink forward from DD. AO actually could be the next target. Black will survive, but it'll cost him their Rubik. Overgrowth comes, connects on 2. But LGD will be happy to get the tower, get a free Rubik, and just retreat.
Or he could just finish the BKB.
Yeah, BKB would
know.
definitely come in handy.
Pipe's pretty good too. Here.
I mean, Blade Mail is still okay. Just on Axe in general, it's a really good item.
Yeah,
Synergizes with Berserker's Call.
Not terribly great against Brewmaster though, I think is the biggest problem with the item.
That's true.
And
Brewmaster's
his biggest problem in the fights.
Are the spirits immune to Berserker's Call? Do they get taunted?
No, they don't get taunted.
They don't get taunted. I
Well,
assumed not.
Sometimes, like, the ghosts follow whatever you're attacking, so in that manner it does, but it doesn't always work like that. The
ghost will follow what Axe is attacking?
No,
Berserker's Call, dude. What are you talking about?
Oh, the spirits. I thought you meant the exorcism spirits.
No.
Oh, the primal split
the
spirits.
primal split
Okay.
spirits, yeah, sorry.
The primal split spirits, I don't think so. I don't think they're immune to call. I don't think anyone's immune to call.
Black
actually.
gets hit by the arrow. Most units aren't, but the spirits are just weird. Like
Yeah,
they go through Naga ult, so that's why, like, I don't know. Oh, DD, he just gets destroyed, but forces out the exorcism, which is a minor victory, I suppose, just in exchange for the tree. Rabbit, he has no fears though. He hops forward. Primal split comes, throws the boulder out on the AO there, and Rubik may take a spill. Demons gets the grave off right before getting hit by an arrow, but he'll die shortly after. Rubik TP's home. Now they'll go on to DP. Black comes back in, but he gets finished off before he can get off the dunk. Now in flame. He's back on the ground. Life drain, disruption. Ghost still flying around. They'll heal him up. It'll buy him a little bit of time, but just not enough. CIS getting picked apart. Yeah, he's just that casual perseverance, man. He's still hanging on to it. Tier 2
Rabbit's
tower falls.
been doing a very good job of killing the Rubik or disabling him or casting a spell so that Rubik doesn't steal his ultimate. I remember watching Korok play Panda, and he would just get his ultimate stolen all the time, and the Rubik didn't even have anything special. So, well, my head was not in that game.
Yeah, you were. I don't know what happened, man.
I don't know.
This game was to Merlini, his last game was to Zyori, so it's okay, man. We're all on the same level. But
Yeah, I'm not sure about the interaction between Primal Split
Yeah,
and
they're just. I don't know if they count as ancients or if they're just their own breed of units, but they're immune to a lot of weird things. They
I guess
probably should.
Maybe they're like Roshan.
Yeah,
Because
I don't know.
Roshan's immune to he doesn't get slept.
Okay, it's Berserker's Call asleep.
Well, I think
Or
I think
you
it's
just mean
the same
mechanic-wise?
same classification. So
Oh,
it might be like
okay.
ancient, and you can Berserker's Call Rosh. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't know.
I
There
don't
was a
think you
one bug
can.
where you could Berserker's Call Roshan back to your fountain.
That's
was-
silly.
It was game breaking. it was quickly patched out.
You don't say. Yeah, a little game breaking.
So
there.
I don't actually know if it still works on Roshan. I don't know.
Yeah,
And so Berserker's Call is also a pretty weird spell.
it is. Both of them weird interactions. So well, didn't get to see it there. Rather unfortunate. So. CIS, LGD, they live up to their 3-1 in the BO5.
They get their
we saw
revenge
last
on
night.
Black's axe.
Yeah, that's true.
Blacks.
The blacks. That's good. I like that. What went wrong for CIS, Merlini? What
think
was
the draft,
their big problem? It was
mostly.
just a drafting
Like
issue.
Black got a lot of farm, and he got some kills early, but
I think the big weak link was the DP. And
I
not
don't-
even the way Inflame played it as much as they just ganked DP. Like you said, LGD know that that's a hero that you can shut down. And
It's not. I think the DP. Okay, if he dies a couple times because of sports roaming, that's okay. But at the same time, they need to be gaining something else around the map. So what they get in return, they got a farmed axe. So
Yeah.
you don't really care about that. If it's like an anti-mage or a phantom lancer, something that Black plays a little bit more often, and you're scared about giving them free farm for 15 or 20 minutes, that's when you're like, crap, we probably shouldn't gank the TP. We need to really kill this hero that Black is playing, or else he's going to be huge and crosshairs come 40, 50 minutes. But like an axe, what is he going to do in team fights? Nothing.
yeah, and even Black's item build a little bit funky. Blink Dagger into casual Ogre Club, then into Vanguard, then
I think last time I
going
watched him, he
back
got
for
Blink.
BKB.
He got Blink, Vanguard, BKB. So he got it in the same order, although that Ogre Club was
Yeah.
oddly in the mix. And I mean, Vanguard's okay. I don't know. I don't think there's another item that would like change the way the game went.
That's true. I don't think that like these little things we're pointing out, like the Vanguard pickup or the casual Perseverance, none of those in particular were the reason, but it seemed like just across the board, CIS couldn't make up their minds what they wanted to do. They had a Death Prophet, but they never really got to group up and push. They had an Axe, which means they want to be aggressive early on, and they kind of were, but they couldn't even really kill the offlane Pugna, so they didn't have that aggression there. Their supports weren't really well geared to pick up kills with Axe early on. And then, same thing with their items. It just seemed like they didn't really know exactly what approach they wanted to take to the game, and that indecision cost them everything.
I agree. It just seems like a very hodgepodge mix of heroes. So I can see what they're going for. It's like, oh, a lot of minus armor. You have actual spins. You have the Dazzle, the Death Prophet Ultimate, which does physical damage. But like that's a very weak link compared to... I guess the LGDs was a little bit weak too. Like, where did Pugna go?
The Pugna didn't fit in as well, but at least they had like Mirana Shadow Demon, some clear synergy there. They had some setup with the Treant, the slow mix with the Brewmaster worked.
They had a lot of early game, and they had Panda too, so they kind of dominated the early game.
Yeah. They had a much more mid-game central lineup, and that's where the Pugna kind of fit in. They didn't use him to knock down towers too aggressively, but when the time came to group up and push, he was the mech carrier, so
I guess they just
he synergized with that.
There's like so many other mech carriers, so I guess he kind of filled that role, but it didn't seem like the pick stood out. It could have been any other mech.
It could have been pretty much anyone. It could have been something like a Tide or what have you.
I agree.
But yeah, still well played by LGD. Coming up next on this stream, guys, will be Newbie versus LGD. Then after that, the big kahuna, DK versus IG. I'll be joined by none other than Fogged Dota. So that should be a bucket of fun.
Dude, Newbie's playing well today.
Are they? I haven't gotten a chance to watch them on the mainstream. Did they beat Vici and DK?
They beat DK. I don't know if they beat Vici.
No, they did, I believe.
They beat both?
I think I remember seeing on the screen, Newbie wins against Vici, so... I reckon.
I think they won both then.
All right, Vici looking hot. So it should be interesting, guys. That next match is scheduled to start 2 minutes ago. So we'll have a little break here.
It's already going on. It's already going on. 4 minutes in. Oh
shit! Did we miss it? Really? That's unfortunate. Well, looks like we're casting off the ticket, boys. It's not that big of a deal. It's a free thing anyway. Anybody can watch it. So all right. Either way, we'll have a break here, guys. And coming up next will be LGD versus Newbie.